Hi, I am Gaurav Kripalani. I am the current vice chair of ISPA. I have been a member since 2003 when Singapore hosted the conference there. I have been the festival director of the Singapore International Festival of Arts for the past 4 years. And concurrently, I am the artistic director of Singapore Repertory Theatre, where I have been for 25 years. Basically, it was one of my first jobs out of college, and I never left because I love it. Let me give you some context on why. Singapore was founded in 1965. It's only 56 years old. I mean, we're babies. But that means that everything we do, and by we, I mean those of us working in the arts, play a part in shaping the cultural landscape of a young country. I mean, that is a huge adrenaline rush. I've never woken up in the morning not wanting to go to work because I still learn something new every day. I mean, that's special. Singapore is a major financial center. It's a thriving metropolis that takes pride in its modernity, efficiency, and cleanliness. So much so that the city was used as a backdrop for the filming of Westworld because there's some parts of it that look so futuristic. When I started at SRT, we had 3 employees. We'd sit in a bar, figure out what the next show would be, and then we'd go and stage it. That was 1996. 7 years later, in 2003, SRT had grown considerably. We'd built our own theater venue. We had 20 staff. We had to start planning 3 years in advance in order to get funding. But that year, Singapore was one of the countries that was very badly affected by the SARS virus. Everything shut down. We couldn't pay salaries. We were on the brink of closing down. It was one of the hardest things that I had ever experienced professionally. I learned 2 important lessons. One, that we had to build up a rainy day fund so that we could look after our staff if something like that ever happened again. And 2, I learned that if I could make it through SARS, I could make it through anything. SARS lasted 6 months. I did not anticipate that this time it would be a rainy 2 years. Singapore learned a lot from SARS. When COVID broke out, the government very rapidly rolled out economic relief measures that helped support jobs and keep businesses open, including in the arts. I think without these, our art scene would have been decimated. These schemes, however, have tapered off and the virus continues to rage. So, as with most places, the situation for artists remains really tough. This, with freelance artists, a lot of them, like in most places, have left the industry, some of them permanently. And when you have a young country like Singapore, something like that could set us back by years. But as we enter our 3rd year in a COVID world, I continue to be amazed by some of the exciting projects that people are working on that are resulting in different industries coming together to make great art at a time of great strife. One positive that has shone through is the resilience and inventiveness of arts practitioners. When I presented my last festival last year, we staged 60 live and online shows, 200 performances over 3 weeks. I mean, last year, it was one of the largest festivals to take place anywhere. And we were able to do this because we were able to commission and work with some really exciting artists who were able to adapt their work, some of them through the very clever use of technology to navigate both the restrictions of travel, but also the restrictions of staging a work with all the challenges that were in place at the time. These artists, some of them were also really able to collaborate with artists from around the world, which they might not have actually done if it involved physically flying to a different place. When we are all able to finally get our lives back, I know that the Singapore art scene will be a lot more resilient, and that there will be a new generation of artists who will say that if they were able to make it through SARS-CoV, they will be able to make it through anything. Have a great conference.